When I'm coaching salespeople and I present them with a new strategy, a new idea, a new way of doing things, sometimes I'll hear, boy, I really like that and I wish I had time, but I just don't have time to do it. I don't have time to make those calls. I don't have time to send that type of proposal withdrawal letter. You just don't get it. Things are different for me. I'm just extra busy and I don't have time for that. That is complete garbage. I'm going to tell you right now that I can, with all certainty, tell somebody that that's complete garbage when they tell me they don't have time for that. Why? I've been where they're at. When you start to learn a system, when you start to learn what's really a good activity, what's really a revenue producing activity, when you start to figure out how time works, you can operate so much more effectively than you ever thought possible. When you say, oh, I just don't have time for that, it's complete nonsense. You do. You have time to make that call. You have time to put together that proposal in a specific way. You have time to send a proposal withdrawal letter. Whatever the skills are that you need to do, I 100% guarantee you have time to do it. Let's look at a few of the things that you may be doing right now that you could possibly cut down on or cut out altogether before you start whining and complaining, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to make the phone calls. I'm just too busy, right? I don't have time to improve my life and hit all of my dreams, right? Let's look at the things. Maybe it's watching TV out of habit. Do you do that? Do you watch YouTube out of habit? Do you scroll through your social media out of habit? Maybe it's watching TV altogether. Maybe you need to think about, do I really need this in my life? The news. How much time do you spend watching the news, and how much time do you spend earning the type of money that's going to help you make the news? Maybe all of those issues that you're getting fired up on the news, if you could say 5, 10, 15, or 20x your income, maybe you could then donate to the causes that you'll make the news. Why are you wasting so much time watching the news when you can't do anything about it? Okay? I've learned this when it comes to the news. It's just my personal opinion. If it's really important, if it's life-changing, somebody's going to tell me about it, right? Hey, if it's life-changing, if it's vital information, trust me, somebody's going to tell me about it. Somebody's going to text me. Somebody's going to let me know. So why don't I outsource all my news watching to everybody else? And I know I'm just going to let them let me know what's going on. I don't have to sit watching the news for a few hours every day, all right? Mindless scrolling through social media. Have you ever caught yourself doing that? Man, 10 minutes can go by, 15 minutes can go by, half an hour can go by, and you're just still scrolling through social media. How many calls could you have made in that time? How many deals could you have closed? How much training could you have done in that time? How could you have learned a new skill that's going to help you get better? Not having a visual to-do list. This is huge. This is vital for you. And I'm going to show you my little system. Feel free to use it for yourself, but you need to have a visual to-do list. It could be just as simple as something on a piece of paper where you know, okay, these are the 5 major things. Now, you're not writing down everything that you need to get done, but you're staying focused on that to-do list. Otherwise, your day starts to manage you versus you managing your day, all right? Not planning each day in advance. You know how long it takes you to plan a day in advance? Like 2 to 3 minutes, okay? Yet, how many times have you, before you not get it, coffee is important, you get your cup of coffee, how many times have you, when you have that cup of coffee, put the phone down, sat down and thought for 2 to 3 minutes, here's everything that I need to get done today, okay? Weekends. How much time is there for you to achieve your goals on the weekends? Now, so many people, oh, the weekends, man, that's my sacred time. That's my sacred time on the weekends. Boy, it sure would be a lot nicer to spend your sacred time with some disposable income, right? To spend that sacred time in your dream house. To spend that sacred time in on a wonderful vacation. If you're sitting around going, I don't like my job, I don't have enough money, they want how much for a bottle of wine with dinner? If you're complaining about things, maybe it's time to look at, maybe I should take some of that time that I'm spending on the weekends in my recharge mode or whatever you like to call it, and devote that to making some more money so that I can start making more money to start having better weekends. I don't think it's very relaxing to sit around worrying about money. I think the only way you can relax is if you have a life of abundance. Procrastinating, right? I'm going to call Tony today. Well, it's morning. It's too early to call Tony. I mean, he's on the West Coast. I don't want to call. You know what? Now it's too late to call Tony. Stop it. Just stop procrastinating altogether. If something's on your mind, do it. I've got a policy. I try to touch everything once. I call it my touch once policy. If I'm going to open an email, I'm going to follow that through and I'm going to finish that task. If I'm going to open a letter, I'm going to pay that invoice or whatever it is I need to do. I'm touching it once. I'm not looking at an email, taking the time to read it. I better respond to that. Leaving it in my inbox, then coming back, having to read it a second time. Touch things once. Give them your attention one single time. Overloading your calendar or to-do list. Overloading your calendar. I'm not saying don't have a to-do list, but what I am saying is also just as bad when you overload it. At 5:15 p.m., I have to feed the dog, and then at 5:20, I'm going to call Pamela to ask her if she wants to watch The Bachelor and have margaritas with me, and then at 6, stop it. Every single day, there's like maybe 5 to 7 vital things that are important for you to make sure that you achieve that day. And out of those 5 to 7, 4 to 5 of them are things that you have to do the same thing every day, right? There's maybe 2 to 3 things that are unique and special for that day. That's the stuff I want you to focus on. Stop focusing on all the little ticky-tack stuff. What are the things, and we're going to talk about this, that you need to accomplish on the daily basis so that you can achieve your goals? Other than that stuff, don't overload your to-do list, okay? Getting distracted, right? Multitasking. Worst word ever invented. Worst concept. Oh man, I'm a multitasker. This is great, dude. I'm reading emails and then I'm on a Zoom call and I'm also watching YouTube. How many people do you know in the news and media, you could probably name at least one, that's had an embarrassing moment because they were multitasking on a Zoom call? All right? You probably know somebody at your office that was multitasking on a Zoom call. Stop it with the multitasking. If something is worth you doing, it's something worth you focusing all of your attention on it so you can maximize the value, or don't do it at all. Maybe if these Zoom calls, if you're like playing Guitar Hero on the Zoom call, maybe you shouldn't be on that Zoom call. Maybe you need to have a heart-to-heart with your team and say, this is not an effective use of my time. I'm going to go ahead and spend my time prospecting and generating top-line revenue for the company. You all can talk about what we're going to do for the holiday that we're making up next quarter or whatever it is. Don't be doing something if it's not worth your time. And for sure, if something is worth your time, don't multitask. If you're making calls, make calls. If you're checking email, check email. If you're writing a contract, write the contract. Don't be doing all 3 of those at the same time because everything's going to come out like garbage, okay? Not allocating or blocking out chunks of time. This is so vital. Not allocating or blocking out chunks of time, right? I'm going to make follow-up calls and I'm going to do these follow-up calls until I either finish 80 phone calls or I've got a hard stop at 3:47 p.m. So right now I am just making calls. If something comes up in the email box, I ain't even opening it. I'm closing the email down. And for this hour and a half, I'm either going to make 80 phone calls or I'm going to run out of time. One of these 2 things is happening. Block out that time. What you're going to learn when you're blocking out that time, and we'll talk about this, is most of us block out way more time than we need. Well, let's have a meeting to discuss the colors of the new logo. Are you available from 4:30 to 5:30? It's the colors of the new logo, right? Let's pop on a call from 4:42 to 4:45. That gives us 3 minutes. I like orange. What do you guys like? I like green and blue. Awesome. How many people want orange? 4 of us. How many people want green and blue? 2 of us? Okay, cool. We're going with orange. See you later, bye, right? How do we get that done? 47 seconds. We're blocking out time in huge, huge chunks that we don't need to block. Checking emails when you're not able to take action on them. I'm going to say this again because this is important. We've talked about smartwatches before. Huh? What's that? Huh? Whoa. Oh, man. Right? Checking emails when you're not able to take action on them. You want to make more money? You want to have more time? I'm giving it to you right now. Stop looking at emails unless you're like, I have allocated the time to open emails, read email, and respond. I'm going to touch it once. Okay? I'm going to open this. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to respond, and I'm done. One and done. I'm not going to just peruse email. Oh, I don't have time to respond to any of this stuff. Then why did you open it, right? Stop being crazy. Relationships that don't add value. Oh, this one's going to hurt. Me and Timmy have been friends since the 5th grade. We both grew up in Broken Bow, Oklahoma together. And I see Timmy every year on the holidays. And it's really important for me to check into Timmy's Facebook and see how he's doing. I'm sorry, just because somebody's been your friend for 50 years doesn't need to be that you're spending an hour of your day checking their Facebook, right? If that's really, really, really valuable to you and your relationship with Timmy is the most important thing and that's how you like to spend your free time, well, great. You need to make a decision and say, I like to spend my free time looking at Timmy's Facebook page. That's my jam, baby. I personally like to spend my free time on a vacation. I personally like to spend my free time in my dream house. I personally like to spend my free time going out to a nice dinner. But hey, that's just me. If you want to spend your time, if that's how you want to budget your very precious few hours of free time, checking Timmy's Facebook, right, to see if his cat chased a squirrel, then fine. Budget that and say, that's how I'm going to spend my time. But you can't also do that and watch TV and do this and that and the other thing. All of this stuff piles up, right? Time is more valuable than money. You have to choose how you're going to spend it. You can't spend your money on everything. Otherwise, the credit card company's going to come looking for you. It's the same thing with time, all right? Not exercising. A lot of people are like, I don't have time for emails. And then I say, dude, did you work out today? And they're like, I just told you I don't have time. Exercise, that's going to give you energy. That's going to start your metabolism going. That's going to give you the drive that you need to get through the day. When should you exercise? I don't care. Maybe you're the type of person you like to get up and exercise. I've tried that. It's not for me, right? Maybe you're the type of person that does it in the middle of the day. I've tried that too. I really, really enjoy it. However, I have trouble finding that time. So I'm an end of the day kind of guy. Whenever your time is, you should be exercising even a little bit every single day. That's going to give you the energy that you need to get all of this stuff done. I'm telling you, throw 30 minutes of cardio in every day. You're going to find that you're going to be able to bang, 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 go through lists. All right. We already talked about multitasking. I don't need to bring that up again. Not being intentional. Okay. Whatever you do in life, you need to be intentional about it. I'm going to answer emails. I'm going to make phone calls. I'm going to check and see if this deal is closing and what the next steps are. I'm going to check Timmy's Facebook. Love me some Timmy, right? That crazy cat. I'm going to intentionally check. This is how I've decided to do my time today, right? Don't just throw your money out into the world and don't do the same thing with your time. I'm going to intentionally check in with Timmy. I'm cool with that. If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that, okay? But don't unintentionally go waste your time on stuff, okay? Here's a big one. How much clutter do you have in your house? Oftentimes when people tell me they don't have enough time, their house is like completely messy and full of clutter. Their closet's full of clothes they haven't worn in 10 years. You want to free up some time? Start organizing your house. Declutter your house. Declutter your closet. You're going to find that when you're streamlined and your living space is streamlined, boom, you're rocking and rolling, right? The Apple guy, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, classic example. What did Steve Jobs, if I said to you, Steve Jobs, what's he wearing right now? You're going to be like, how am I supposed to know? No, seriously. What's Steve Jobs, well, he's dead. He's not wearing anything. What did Steve Jobs wear every day? Well, actually, now that I think about it, I never saw him in anything but a black turtleneck and like New Balance sneakers. Why did Steve Jobs do that? Because he had less choices. If streamlined, he just had a bunch of turtlenecks and a bunch of New Balance sneakers. Boom, I freed up some time. Don't have to figure out what I'm wearing today, right? Am I asking you to dress like Steve Jobs? Please don't. Please don't. Not that outfit. But what I am telling you is get rid of the clutter. If there's stuff that's slowing you down, either in your house or in your closet, it's gotta go, right? Give it away, donate it, do something great with it. Clean your own house. Maybe you don't need to be doing that. Maybe you need to get a maid. Maybe you need to get somebody to take care of your yard. Maybe you need to make sure, are you changing your own oil in your car? Maybe there's activities. Do you clean your own car? That's my jam, by the way. I clean all of my cars because I like it. That's how I've decided. You may call Timmy. I've decided I've got a whole freaking car wash system in my massive garage, man. And I like nothing better than hosing down the Bentley on a weekend, right? But that's what I like to do. If you're not liking to clean your own car, run it through the car wash. If you don't have the time to clean your own house, I don't. Get a team to clean your house for you. Figure out all of these ways that you can streamline. You're gonna find so much time. But what I don't want you doing is telling me on the weekly coaching calls that you don't have time when you know that you just spent 47 minutes deep in a Timmy Cat video hole. Stop it. Knock it off. The world of sales has completely changed. Today's customer has access to more information. Today's customer has more choices. The business world needs you. Studies have shown that 84% of salespeople fail to achieve their goals. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of selling in a way that's meaningful to you and your customers and get you 7 times more business. I'll show you how the perfect sales process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from prospecting to closing the deal. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so you can build value in your solutions. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your customer so it's easy for them to buy from you. I've taught the best companies in the world and thousands of people just like you how to hit their targets. Selling is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career is gonna make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or the corporate world before. And for the advanced sales professionals, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Easton University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective in any industry, large or small. You are about to become a certified master sales consultant. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Easton University.